Hi, I'm Bryant tutoring high school chemistry. Today's topic is ions and ionic bonding. Elements in their natural state are unstable things. Cesium, for example. If you drop that in your bathtub, it'll explode. So will your bathtub. So will you. In order to combat this problem, elements have decided to follow something called the octet rule. They will either gain or lose electrons to gain the electron configuration of a noble gas. Noble gases are all stable. And for the most part, they don't become ions because of that. Going over to sodium, for instance, it can either gain or lose electrons to get the noble gas configuration. Well, how will it do that? Let's look at its closest noble gases, argon and neon. Sodium could either go backwards on the periodic table, losing one electron to become like neon, or go forwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, gain 7 electrons to become like argon. It's just a simple matter of counting. Well, elements will always gain or lose the least number of electrons, so sodium will just lose 1, going backwards. This gives it a positive charge, because it lost a negative electron. But where does this electron go? Electrons don't just float around in space. Let's take a look at the other side of the board. Chlorine could either gain 1 electron to become like argon, or lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to become like neon. Shortest route. It'll gain an electron to become like argon. And this results in an ionic bond. It can take the electron that sodium loses and get a negative charge. Sodium is positive, chlorine is negative. They will attract each other because they're of opposite charges to create the amazing compound sodium chloride, common table salt. Sodium chloride has a net charge of 0, the one positive in the sodium canceling out the negative in chlorine. What if the charges aren't exactly 0 though? Back to sodium. We've established that it has a positive charge, loses an electron. Oxygen, however, is different. Oxygen gains 2 electrons to become like neon, so it'll give a 2- charge. Not only are there not enough electrons from sodium to go to oxygen, even if you put the 2 ions together, you still get a net charge of -1. 2- and 1 positive will only give you 1 negative, so you're not quite done. To fix this, just throw in another sodium. 2 sodiums can donate 2 electrons to give oxygen its 2- charge, and the net charge of Na2O, write the 2 in subscript, is 0, 2 pluses and 2 minuses. One last thing. All the elements in one group are the same distance from the nearest noble gas. So you can just refer to a basic chart like this one to tell what charge your element is going to gain. If it's a group 1 element, positive 1 charge. Group 6 element, 2- charge. Groups 4 and 8 are not in this chart. That's because 4 could go either way, and the noble gases tend not to form any type of ion. To recap, atoms as elements are unstable, so they follow the octet rule, getting the electron configuration of a noble gas. They do this by gaining or losing electrons. They will always gain or lose the least number of electrons, which you can determine either by just counting along the periodic table or referring to this chart, since all the elements in a particular group will form the same charge. When forming an ionic compound, make sure that the net charge on the compound is 0, and then you're all set. That's all for now. Again, I'm Bryant. See you next time.